The dog days of summer. How's your fantasy baseball going?
I am doing as I always do, and that is mediocre. I've been playing for 16, 17 years. I started playing fantasy baseball, my brother and I did, in the mid-90s when we had to fill out the stat sheets ourselves.
Really? And mail it in?
And mail it in.
My uncle did that all the time. I always thought that was so cool.
Old.
There was
really neat.
Well, there was a magazine that came in all the time.
Baseball America.
Baseball
That's
America.
right.
That's right.
But no, I've been playing
Not
on
magazine, newspaper.
Newspaper. It was great. We've been playing fantasy baseball in this league for 15 years.
Yeah.
16 years.
Yeah.
You've been in it for a few years.
Yeah. Last season.
And you've done better than me every year.
Last season I dominated.
You did not
I
dominate.
won the consolation bracket.
First loser. You're wearing the first loser. You're like the fifth loser.
But
You
I won
can't-
the consolation.
That's
I
ridiculous.
won.
Because nobody else cares. All right, we've
got-
already talked about this. This is all going.
Man, it's in recruiting season for volunteers right now. So summer, dog days of summer, thinking about that. I think that if you were to capitalize on these 5 tips, we'd love to hear from you as well on some
You
others.
haven't even told them what the 5 tips are?
I know, but if you capitalize on them, I believe in your youth ministry, you would never have a problem getting volunteers to serve alongside of you in your youth ministry, but they would also be happy. I wish that there was the Farrell song
Farrell
right now.
song, happy. It'd be good.
Yeah.
Maybe no, it's
You have to be-
copyright violation.
You have to be impressed that I came up with a song.
I am impressed. B, that you pronounced Farrell's name right.
There you go.
So
There's little things about me
Jake
you don't know.
I
don't know
know
music.
this, that you don't know music.
No.
But you read more books than me. Actually, you listen more books at 2 times speed than me.
That is true. That is true.
yeah,
but
we all
I
want
am
happy
thankful
youth
for
ministry
Star Wars and the
volunteers.
Hobbits. Those 2 things are amazing.
Shut up. You're making fun of my... If you like Parks and Rec, I am Ben on Parks and Rec.
Never saw it.
He likes fantasy fiction and that sort of thing. That's me.
Yeah. I have no idea what that meant.
It's okay.
But I
It's all right. I know who Tolkien... And I like the West Wing too. I'm very... What are we doing? We need to get into this. Hey.
5
happy
tips
adult
for happy
volunteers.
Number 1.
Seek their input. Nobody likes to be a part of something that they, many of us, or many people have at times in their life been a part of things that you feel like you have no ownership in. You have no input. What you say doesn't matter. That's a frustrating feeling.
Yes.
And we can run our youth ministries that way. If we want to, we can just kind of be the guy or the gal at the top, put our head down, and roll right through. Or we can listen to the people that we work alongside and work with, and we can take their thoughts into consideration. As I was writing this, I had kind of a sinister thought.
Okay.
Can I share it?
You
Be
may.
transparent. You don't always have to accept people's influence, but it's important to make them feel like you did.
I was so going to say that. So
I know, right?
About that.
But
because I was thinking you have to have permission.
Yeah.
Somebody told me this years ago in youth ministry, is that you're going to outlive your students. So some
that's
people
right.
say, no, I let my students make all the decisions. Well, you're silly.
Yeah.
Or I let
That's
my
right.
adult volunteers do all that. God has called you there
right.
to lead.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you can't see a benevolent
Benevolent
dictator.
dictator, right? It's not a democracy. It's a benevolent dictatorship.
Yeah. So seek the input,
Yeah,
but
and listen, and they
don't
will
have to do it all.
And people will say things that we'll use, right? And they will bring great ideas to the table. But every idea is not a good idea. But if you listen, create an environment where you're listening to people, an environment where you know people, where you're hearing them. That's a great way to keep people happy.
You know, my buddy Andy had this great idea the other day, and this is what it was, right? Yeah, but here's the concept: is that if you're going to use an idea from an adult volunteer in a staff meeting or whatever, give them credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in your team meetings, give them credit. Hey, Susan thought about this. Oh, it took you a second to get to. You're like, is he going to say what I said?
Hand grenade joke, right?
Yeah.
Throw it. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good. Inspire. Number 2. Inspire.
Yeah. Keep the mission in front of them, right? Inspire them. It's hard doing what we do. It's hard for an adult volunteer who has maybe children of their own, and sometimes that doesn't always go well.
Yeah.
And they've got a marriage, and they've got a job and a career, and on Wednesday night or Sunday morning, they're in your youth ministry.
Yep.
They need to be inspired. They need to keep the mission in front of them.
Yeah. What is it that your youth ministry is trying to accomplish, right? Wednesday night, it might be about allowing students a safe place to invite their friends to hear the word of God. So it's important in your pre-team or post-team rallies of saying, hey, team, just remember last week we had 3 new people come to faith, or whatever the case may be. Cast that vision so that somebody's not like, so I just show up and just stand in the back of the room.
Yeah,
like,
answer these questions. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Or gosh, Bible study leaders week in and week out. Why do we do it? It's so that students will continually hear the word of God, and it's that slow transformation.
Yeah, it's keeping the mission. We are very intentional about this as a team at YM360 because work's hard.
Yeah.
Keep the mission in front of them. The why you said. That's great. Yeah. Third one is a little bit different than inspire.
Yeah.
A little bit different. It's encourage.
Yeah, that's along the way. Encourage.
It is. There's a metaphor you and I were kind of kicking around like Jake's a huge marathoner, right? Dozens and dozens of marathons.
Used.
We both used to run a lot longer distance than we do today.
Yeah. What was the best thing, especially on the trail's not as bad, but on the road, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, if I pound pavement one more moment, and then what do you see in the distance?
That Gatorade.
The aid station.
The aid station.
And that guy with
I can get a little half a banana cut in half.
Hey, like mysteriously I start running a little faster, because you're encouraged.
That's right. It's encouragement along the way. Those aid stations are a great metaphor for the marathon that is adult volunteering, right? Mm-hmm. But along the way, if you're giving us a little bit different than inspiration. Inspiration is keeping it. Inspiration is that finish line.
Yeah.
But encouragement is along the way, just pumping them up.
Yep.
Right, you're doing a great job. You're the right person for the job. So glad you're here. Mm-hmm. It goes a long way.
And this can be in your monthly team meetings or quarterly team meetings. This can be email, text messages.
Handwritten note.
Yeah, exactly. Handwritten.
I used to have a friend of mine. She was an excellent youth worker, and she would buy anytime stationery was on sale. She would just buy tons of stationery, and it was her way of reminding herself: if I keep it in my desk drawer, if I see it, I'm going to write letters.
Yeah, that's good.
And so she would always write these great little handwritten letters, little short little things.
One thing that I heard just recently that I was like, I'm going to share that, and I just haven't shared it yet, was when you as the lead youth worker get success stories all the time. Like parents will come to you and they'll say, oh, you know what? Thank you so much for what your ministry does for my son.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was going to say Timmy. But it's so amazing. And you remember that real quick and you're like, hey, Andy, thanks so much for sharing that. Hey, would you mind writing a note and I'll deliver it to their small group leader?
Oh, that's
talk
huge.
about encouraging.
That's so great.
It's almost like they expect it from me, but where can I make that second connection?
Yeah, and I think if I'm a parent, I am a parent. I think like if my youth pastor said that to me, I'd love to write that letter.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
I don't think anyone's
gonna
be like, no, I don't want to do that.
I don't have time. Yeah, but I could see how in that moment I'm like, oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That's the right person to give that to.
Yeah.
That's good.
Or hey, I'm gonna take out my phone. I'm gonna shoot that in video. Do you mind doing it?
So that would be that's a great transition to our next point because that feels very rewarding, right?
Very
to get
good.
that praise. One of the ways you can create happy adult volunteers is to reward them.
Yes.
Now listen, this looks a lot of different ways, right? If you're like Jake and you're covered up in money, I mean literally like that's like Scrooge McDuck, right? Swimming in gold doubloons. You can just bless people with just greenbacks,
that show.
right? That's a great
good.
show.
Yeah.
You got to do it. It's got to be relative to where you are. So, but just think in terms of rewarding your people. Just little things. Gift cards, $5 Starbucks. Man, I love getting a $5 Starbucks gift card. It's 2 cups of coffee to me because I'm a real man. I just drink it black.
There you go.
Right? So that's great.
I like how you're looking at me. I do too. So
That's
I'm
right.
with
I know.
you.
I was
So-
trying to play a joke on you.
I was like, no. Anyway, another way would be get a book. So sometimes churches I have found like they don't want to get a Starbucks gift card. They're like they're doing this, but they'll always equip, right?
Yeah,
so find a
sure.
couple of titles that would be good. 7 best practices for teaching teenagers the Bible. 99 thoughts for volunteers.
That's right.
Just grab these books when you're online
To help them
or
be
whatever,
better at their craft.
and be like, hey, I thought about you. Write a special note.
You know what? This is a really neat thing to do that Lee Moore leads out on all of our customer care.
Yeah.
And one of the things Lee started doing is when we gather information of people, it's a really simple question. Now, what's your wedding anniversary?
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that, right? Because like to bless people on their anniversary. Find out the wedding anniversary of your adult volunteers, man. You want to talk about making somebody happy?
Yeah.
When mama gets a bouquet of flowers on anniversary from the youth ministry, you're golden.
That's really good.
Reward your people.
And this one was worth sticking around for.
That's right.
I actually like this one. I almost thought you were going to say don't. But it's
no.
not don't.
No. It's
it is do this.
Yeah, it's over communicate.
It's
over communicate with your volunteers. There's nothing more frustrating than feeling like you don't know what's going on. Nobody likes surprises. Well, I mean, we all love the
Nobody
right
likes
kind of
to not
surprises.
be in the know.
Yeah. You don't want to feel like you're the only person left out. I've journeyed through a situation with a friend of mine recently who found himself sort of in this arena where some tough news had not been communicated early enough. It causes a ripple effect in your volunteers. Yeah. People feel like, well, wait a minute, I'm bought in. This is my thing. How come I don't know this, right?
This in particular is super important for change.
Oh, absolutely.
But also just anything.
Yeah, but
like,
you're right though. Change is huge.
Yeah. Like change, you almost have to say it so many times that you're like,
that's right.
It's ad
you've told me.
nauseum, right? And you're like, that's when you're just beginning to say it enough.
Over communicate if you want to create happy volunteers. So, hey, we want you to have happy adult volunteers.
That's true. We do.
As much as we can help you get there, we'd love to. Our team is always here to help you at YM360.
Yes.
Give us a call, live chat us, email us if we can help you with any way.
Cool.
With any way?
No. In any way.
In any way. It's the wrong preposition.
And with
Do you
that,
know what a preposition is? You probably don't. Okay.
It was on Star Trek. See you later.